There it goes. And we're back. I think this is working. I really have no idea. I don't know how this works. I don't know who does what. I don't know. I know that you could see us originally, but then last minute change, we turned this whole thing around so you can see the beautiful golf course, which I think we look better as shadow figures, I guess.
I do too. I think it was a good decision by all of us to not see our faces early in the morning. We were both up late last night. Welcome to the podcast world, Levack. We kind of did a podcast before, but this is the real deal now. We got the camera.
Yeah, my name's on this one, so you can't suck anymore, guys. All right? It's got to be good now. I really don't even feel like we're doing a show because we're just kind of sitting here talking. Like normally, we have the, hey, show's on, let's go, and I have a plan and everything. Listen, this is complete free ball. I mean, free. Free. I'm free balling as well. We're live at the Hideaway. It is the Wild World of Sports golf tournament. So it's a normal 18-hole golf tournament, but 6 holes out there have some kind of physical, Nickelodeon double dare, no slime challenge out there. So you can, win prizes, advance your game, stuff like that. So it's going to be a lot of fun. We're looking forward to meeting everybody. Registration starts at 9 today. Play starts at 10. So somewhere around 9:30, if we're still talking, I'm just going to get up and walk away.
There have been so many years. Let me cough, by the way. Can I cough live now?
Do you want me I can mute you. See, I muted you. I have the technology. There you go. Now look at. You want to cough again? You want to turn your head and cough?
No, that's not working.
Sorry.
You've said so many times before that you wanted to play when we were here at the Hideaway.
Yes.
And your dreams have come true.
Yeah, this is the first time since I've known you I'm actually get to swing golf clubs in an actual tournament. Do you think about that? We've hosted at so many tournaments. My golf clubs, I went and I checked the bag because every time we would host one of those, they give you a sleeve of golf balls. I can't go use them because our job was to be here doing this. I have so many free golf balls right now that I'm going to litter all over the Hideaway and Saratoga Lake Golf Club. So you'll be able to get free golf balls out of every rough. When you go find your ball, you're going to find like 3 of mine. It's going to be a lot of fun. I'm here. I got 2 Empire teams, Albany Empire teams going out there. Darius Prince, Sean Lockett going to play today. A couple of the Empresses, Coach Manaz, Coach Ware are going to play today. One of the owners, Mike Quarta, he's going to play today. Of course, from our friends at Techies Fire and Water Restoration, your best way back to normal. They are nice enough to, sponsor Levack and Gaz, get us out here at the Hideaway.
We're here. We did it. We're back. Bright and early. I've seen some comments come in, by the way, if you want to write into the show. Twitter, Facebook, YouTube. We'll call this guy L. L's right into the show. First off, it's weird getting ready in the morning for a Levack and Gaz show. Trust us, we feel the same way.
We're already drinking. This is vodka transfusion by Cutwater. It's not a sponsor or anything. They just handed me one. It's kind of good.
He also wrote, what a beautiful background. Get out of the way, you two. You're blocking the view.
Okay, see, I thought the first one was going to be you morons don't even know how to use a camera, so I'm glad it's that instead. I was sure it was going to be like, hey, dummies, you can't see you. And then we'd fix it, and then they'd be like, oh, my God, I don't want to see you. So we're here. And, yeah, you mentioned everybody a little slow, a little trank-darted today because we're all up last night watching UFC 264. Conor McGregor versus Dustin Poirier, at least most of Conor McGregor versus Dustin Poirier. But I thought what really sucked about last night is it was probably one of the best action-wise cards I've seen in a long, long time. The only downside I saw for a lot of those fights was the fact that the only guy who went out there with a true jiu-jitsu plan was Burns, the co-main event. Everybody else is just throwing haymakers and hands and everything. He's actually trying to grind down. And there were moments, but as you go through the whole thing and you see Jessica Ai gets a third eye cut into her forehead and everything. And then the last fight before Conor and Poirier is an actual jiu-jitsu matchup a little bit, where Wonder Boy's trying to kick and punch and Burns isn't having it. Just kind of felt like it slowed everything down. But then, come on.
Yeah, I want to start with this Jessica Ai thing too, because you brought that up. Did you see what the internet did to poor her?
No.
Where they started putting the eyes above the cut, so it looked like a mouth.
Oh, I thought they would just put it in the cut because it looked like she had a third eye. It was, and she was thrilled. Do you think once she saw it, she was still thrilled?
Yes. Do you remember we actually interviewed her a few years ago, and she was one of the first people we ever asked about her being a female fighter and how weird it must be going through an airport.
Oh my God, she's the first one I had that conversation.
Jessica Evil Eye was the one we had that conversation with. Yeah. For those who may not know the story we're talking about here,
that's crazy.
We asked her about can you date? Because when you go through an airport and your face is all black and blue, Someone's gonna look at your boyfriend and be like, "What the hell happened?" And
that's always been one of my biggest things. Is just that, like, I mean, the first thing I always think of when I watch the women fight in the UFC is, could she kick my butt? Like, even in just a sparring match or whatever. Like, obviously you can't like throw hands. Could she kick my butt? And then my second question is, if I walk through an airport with her and she's all lumped up, is anyone ever going to believe I'm not the one who did it? That's because you just like, you got to, like, obviously you would hope that would be the case at any day and age, any time in life. But nowadays, especially, like, can you imagine walking through the airport with a woman who's all lumped up and everyone would just be like, "You son of a," you know what I mean?
You can swear now. You can say bitch.
I know. I'm building towards. I don't.
Hey, when Jesse Pinkman there just yelled it out.
Gaz has developed some kind of like radio Tourette's now, where you're just going to randomly swear and stuff. No, it was a great card. Really disappointing ending, but in a weird way, Levack and Gaz live at the Hideaway. Thanks to our friends at Tech East and Godzilla Media. In a weird way, though, wasn't it kind of the perfect ending if you want to see that fight again, though?
You're talking about McGregor and Poirier, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I would have liked McGregor to knock him out. I would have liked.
Well, yeah, but then you'd never see this again. Like that. Like if Poirier or McGregor, if you didn't see it, I almost like want to do a spoiler just because it was so late. I bet some people are counting on watching it today. So 3, 2, 1. McGregor breaks his ankle. Like, and it's, you didn't notice it during the action, but as soon as they stopped and reshowed it, it's so obvious that he steps back and his foot buckles underneath. Like, the bone has to come through for a compound fracture, I believe. If it's not a compound fracture, it's as close as you get without being one.
It seems as if it's happened more often the last couple of years, right? Like Anderson Silva's the one that always pops into my mind, and then Chris Weidman, who Silva broke his leg against, does the same thing. It's not as nasty as those two.
No,
but it's somewhere high on the nasty scale. Yeah. And the most frustrating part about it is that right when that bell rings at the end of round 1, McGregor kind of was sitting on the octagon for a majority of that round.
Yeah.
Like, okay, he's going to get up. And you just knew from the split second in the replays, like, okay, this fight's over. This is done.
Yeah.
I felt disappointed by it because, look, if Dustin Poirier knocks him out or chokes him out, okay, we've got a winner. If McGregor does the same thing, we've got a winner.
There's closure to the trilogy.
The trilogy, we've got a winner and all those things. I felt disappointed, I guess is the right term, because I don't feel like Poirier should be celebrating in the ring and talking trash. Because did he break his arm? Like, we've seen Ronda Rousey break people's arms.
Right. They actually caused the...
Yeah, Khabib, like, we've seen guys make guys tap out. If you want to flex and go crazy, cool. He broke his leg. He broke his ankle. Like, Poirier didn't do it.
But... All right, so here's the two reasons. I actually ended up liking Poirier, and I'm a McGregor fan. I wanted McGregor to win the fight. I thought Poirier had, at this point in their careers, I just think he has a more skilled game at this exact moment. But in a perfect world, Conor McGregor goes out and lumps him up, knocks him out in the first round, because that's when you get the talk for a championship run for McGregor and all that stuff. When you talk back about my wife, when you say you're going to murder me, all those things, and I do honestly believe the truth is somewhere between the two. Like, McGregor's like, "Oh, I just stepped back and it broke. He didn't do nothing to me." We're live at a golf course, kids. I don't know. Facebook Live. I was just about to say you can watch us Facebook Live on Techie's Fire and Water Restoration Facebook page, but that's the only place we're live right now. So it's not like the old days where I used to go like, "Hey, we're live on the Mohawk Chevrolet Facebook page," and we were on the radio. Like, if you're watching us live, you already know where the hell we are.
That's right. Also, YouTube, Godzilla Media as well.
Oh, we were up live on there too?
We are, yes.
I thought we had an exclusive. How dare you? I mean, our tagline at Tech East is "Best way back to normal." This is kind of normal. How dare you? I'm leaving. No, no, but like Poirier can make the argument. I checked that kick. That's how it broke. I started that fracture. And if I'm McGregor, I'm going to say, no, it's a stoppage. You didn't do it. It makes sense. But I loved when, and here, you want me to swear? When Dustin Poirier goes, "And all you booing, you can kiss my whole asshole." I literally started clapping. I was watching it with my buddy over in his yard. He has a big TV out back, and I started clapping. I was like, I didn't like Poirier very much before, but right now, that's great.
Well, you were clapping because he stole your quote. That's from you. You were the first to say that on the air before.
I didn't say it exactly. I said the guy could kiss my ass, and he didn't have to wear a mask because he didn't want to wear a mask in the beginning of the pandemic. And I never because if I had said "kiss my whole asshole" on the radio, I would not have been on the radio. Like, here I can say it, and I still feel uncomfortable saying it here, if we're being perfectly honest. I'd like to kind of do the show we always did And then if, a swear word pops in here, because, again, because I want to tell you exactly what he said, that's fine. Like Chad here at the Hideaway is like, how much are you going to swear? I'm like, I don't know. I really like microphones usually stop me from swearing. I'm like the opposite of like any other comedian in the world.
No, that's true. Like it's like in the back of our minds, like you have to train yourself to be filtered, and now we're unfiltered.
Yeah, what up? We're live at the Hideaway today, and there is a private function on the inside, but the turn kitchen is open, so you can get sandwiches, all that stuff. There's the golf tournament today. I believe there's still an opportunity to walk up. 9:00 registration for the Wild World of Golf tournament, and all in all, though, UFC 264, I thought it was great. Here's the question. Here is the question. McGregor is done, or this lights a fire under his ass, and he's back in a year as good as we've ever seen him?
If he had lost, like if he had got choked out or knocked out, I would have probably said it's over. But listening to him sitting there in the octagon talking to Joe Rogan, it made me feel like he's got one more left. And our pal Mike Heck, who covers MMA for MMAfighting.com, he covers the UFC. I asked him that same question. He said, I feel like you've asked us that question for like 3 years in a row. And I have. Like every time McGregor post the MSG fight in November 2016, it always felt like the last one. Even post Mayweather, it felt like the last one because he just didn't have to.
Well, he did that. He said he wanted to be done by 30.
Right.
Get in, get rich, win titles. 30 years old, I'm out.
It's not so much about the ability. Like when Ronda Rousey was done, Amanda Nunes was bopping her head around like a volleyball in the octagon. Like you knew Ronda was done.
The game had passed her by.
Right. Like George St. Pierre and Anderson Silva, like certain people are just Chuck Liddell. Some fighters just can't do it anymore.
Yeah.
Conor's not that. Like Conor can still fight. He just doesn't have to get punched in the head for a living anymore.
Yeah.
So I would say he either has this fourth fight, which even a 4-fight overall, that's kind of weird. I don't.
Right.
The promotion's going to be.
Well, it's like 3.5.
Right.
I mean, you might. There's 3 decisions right now, but nobody's looking at that one and saying there's a mosquito on your face. So mosquito on your face.
I don't know who else he would fight though. That's the problem too. Like if it's not Poirier, who else would it be?
All right. Sorry. I guess that's kind of my question, right? So I don't think we're done seeing Conor McGregor fight. Are we done seeing him fight in meaningful UFC fights? Like whoever won this fight was going to get a title shot. That's what Dana White said. Are we going to see Conor McGregor fight Dustin Poirier for the 4th time? Conor McGregor fight whoever the next title guy. I mean, we're talking about a year. Like, look at you're talking about almost the exact same rehab that Dak Prescott just had to do. So, is it that which I would consider returning, or is it he just takes the big money, like just marquee fights? Like, is he going to go fight Diaz one more time? Is Conor McGregor's next fight in the boxing ring against Jake Paul? Because that's not returning to me. It's a payday, but that's not returning in my opinion.
Okay, so the Jake Paul thing, I don't want that to happen. But what I've started to find out about Jake Paul, look, he's okay. Like he's in shape. He's an okay fighter. Like he's not a professional fighter, but he can hold himself in the ring. Like he beat Ben Askren. Like he's okay.
Yeah.
The thing with Jake
Ben
Paul,
Askren's not a striker at all.
No, but
Ben Askren's a wrestler who can't throw hands.
So it's 2 things about Paul. One, he has a huge following where he's going to get buys. Like there are just people who are very interested in what he does on YouTube. And 2, if you are a writer, if you're a social media site, whatever it might be, I've been told that the traction that he gets, like when you put out a Jake Paul article or a video, I don't know what the algorithm is. I don't know what this guy's doing, but the numbers are through the roof. So if someone says, okay, to their boss, all right, what fighter is the most popular with our numbers? Jake Paul's winning. Like, I don't know how he's doing it. So look.
What's the old Howard Stern thing? Like, why do you watch him? I like him. Well, what about the people who don't like him? I want to see him get hit. Like that's how I feel about Greg Hardy.
Yeah.
Like I love watching Greg Hardy fight because he throws bombs or he's gonna get beat the hell up like he did last night.
That was nice.
Like, and that's Jake Paul. Jake Paul fights somebody who can actually throw hands. I'm in. Not because I want to see him win. I want to see him get messed up. He annoys the hell out of me.
Yeah, and that's exactly it. So I think if I had to pick the opponent, it would be some variation of boxing or the UFC with Paul, and McGregor would call it a day because the combination of 2 things. 1, a monster payday, and 2, he can beat him. Because as much as I like Conor McGregor, and I think he's an all-time great fighter, I think he is the most popular UFC fighter of all time. He's made the most money. The argument can be made that Dana White and the UFC have always treated Conor with kid gloves when it came to opponents. They've given him some easy opponents. What I mean by that is, okay, he fights Jose Aldo, right?
Yeah.
He fights Aldo. Aldo hasn't lost in 9 years.
Well, remember when he fought Poirier the first time, too? Poirier was the guy. Everybody thought he was the next guy.
Yes, exactly right. Yeah. So McGregor beats him. He fights Aldo, hasn't lost in 8-9 years, knocks him out in 30 seconds. Aldo never gets a rematch. He fights the Garden. I believe he fights Eddie Alvarez. He fights Eddie Alvarez in the Garden. And Eddie Alvarez, I think, was not the original fight because Khabib was on the undercard.
Yeah.
So Khabib, even at 2016, people thought he should have fought Khabib, but he was on the undercard that night. Cowboy Cerrone, he fought. Even saying that out loud, the hell?
Yeah, that was almost like a warm-up fight, like a bring-back fight in the world of boxing. That was almost like a favor to Cowboy.
Yeah, and
remember his grandmother hugged Conor at the end of the fight?
Because he got so rich off the fight.
Right.
The Diaz fight, you could say, okay, what about Diaz? Well, Conor wasn't supposed to take the Diaz fight. Conor's a nut and said, I don't care what the weight class is, I'll still knock him out. That's not how fights work. You have to weigh in. And Diaz had about, 15, 20 pounds probably by the time the fight actually started with all those things. So, look, the UFC has never always given Conor the best opponents. And I know he fought Khabib, but he lost. And he never fought him again. So, Conor, and someone's hearing this being like, wow, guys, you're saying that you should fight the easiest opponent and make the most money? Yeah. Like, maybe that's why McGregor's a genius. Fight the guy you can beat and make the most money possible. And the answer to that's Jake Paul. I can't believe I'm saying that out loud. Well, he's fighting a YouTube guy. But again,
and now, there is always, a factor to this, too. Like, you could sit here and be like, I guarantee that Conor McGregor's next fight is going to be so-and-so. Well, you're crazy because it's a year. How long till he can put real weight on that ankle? We're talking, 4-6 months minimum? Yeah. And remember, he's a little older than Dak. So it's a little slower. It's a different sport. You use that as a weapon. So I mean, you're talking 6 months before he's able to really train, and then he's going to have to put, historically speaking, in the UFC, if you take no damage, you might get a fight within 3 months. But if you take damage, you're half a year. So we're at a year before Conor McGregor is in the UFC again. Now we're talking about a boxing match. I don't have to use that ankle. I don't as a weapon. I have to be able to stand on it, dance around and stuff. Yes, obviously I still need to have mobility, but I'm not going to now take, because in my mind, if I'm Conor McGregor, the first time I throw a calf kick in a fight, am I okay? Because you got to think to yourself, I throw a calf kick, this guy blocks it right with his shin, he checks it appropriately, it's going to snap again. That's in your head, right? I mean, heck, the first time I took a step with that left foot, I'd be freaked out. So, there's two different. I think you're right. Boxing is probably next because it's the most logical, fastest way back into combat sports. But it's also dangerous because let's say Jake Paul actually does beat you somehow, lands one on the button, because he's a big, strong, dumb kid. Let's be real. If I'm Dana, I don't know if I take you back after that. You're an embarrassment to my sport. It's one thing to lose to Mayweather. He's the greatest pound-for-pound boxer of all time. It's a whole nother thing to lose to a YouTuber that no one likes.
Yeah. It would be done for McGregor at that point. The reputation of what he's done in his career. Remember we talked to Oscar De La Hoya, and De La Hoya said it was an insult to boxing that people could think they could just walk in and be a boxer. It would be the exact opposite for the UFC, where they'd say the greatest fighter of all time got knocked out by a kid from
an YouTube. Actual striker too. I can logic away Ben Askren. I can logic away some of these other guys because they're grapplers. Even with Frank Mir put on a good fight. I can't think of this.
Rich Hunter, phone booth.
Well, no, he didn't fight his co-host. No, he did that boxing match. He was on the undercard for the Jake Paul last card, and he put on a good fight. He put on a very good boxing match fight, but he's not a boxer. He's a jiu-jitsu guy. He can throw hands, but not. You wouldn't think that. He put on a good display. So even though he lost to a boxer. So I can let that go. McGregor's a striker. McGregor hits you from different angles, different ways, whatever. Hell, kicks are always a secondary part of his game until this fight. And look what happened. He goes in, he gets beat by a guy who's not a real boxer. If Pacquiao beats him somehow, okay, I'll let it go. You know what I mean? All right, I can logic that away. You lose to a YouTuber. I don't care who it is, man. I don't care if it's Billy Blanks doing the Tybo crap. You lose to a guy who's known for videos, not for fighting, you're done. It's over. Because the biggest thing about Conor is Poirier is at this, again, pound for pound at this exact moment in time. This mosquito wants to eat me. He's in a higher level of his game right now than Conor is. But Conor can land one on your button at any given moment, any given direction. He'll hit you somewhere that it's like that 1-inch punch thing. You just don't know where it's coming from. That's the number one thing with him. So now I get beat by a YouTuber? Mm-mm. Sorry, I don't believe it no more.
Are we next? Are we going to be asked to fight people now in the YouTube podcast world? You talked about the 1-inch punch. I've been trying to do the 2-handed punch for years. Look out.
Did you see Sugar Sean O'Malley? His Like they were doing the quick little hype videos next to each other, and he kept doing that.
You thought about me?
All I could think of was you. I literally I was with Mike Corda from Tech East last night watching the fight. Tech East Fire and Water Restoration. It's your best way back to normal. TEfirewater.com. And I said when he did it, I go, you see that? He goes, yeah. What's he doing? I go, it looks awkward when a fighter does it. You should see Gaz when he does the double punch. Like Gaz looks like the character in a video game that like shouldn't be able to beat anybody, but somehow does this really awkward, weird thing and it works.
It'll revolutionize boxing. One day, one boxer, 2 punches, boom, just like that.
Oh,
I'll fight anybody for the right money. I'm now a podcast
you would
YouTuber.
not. That's
for the right cost. And if we didn't do it too long,
right.
and didn't sweat too much,
would you fight Gaz? Is I think the next question.
No.
Would you fight Gaz? I want to know. I want to know.
Pay me to fight you is the better way.
I think. Would you pay to fight Gaz?
No. Would I get paid if I?
Would you pay to fight Gaz?
All right, that's fine.
I think that's a fair question. Would you pay to fight Gaz? Yeah, I think it's a very interesting question. I don't think people realize what you are.
That's right, Levack. You're right.
I think because I always think of you just as big goof, but like I've seen your hype videos from back in the day when you were playing defensive line and offensive line. Okay, when you're not helping.
Oh, okay.
But actually, unless you're trying to sucker people into paying for it, because I think it's going to be easy. I feel like there's a switch that goes in Gaz. I feel like somebody hits you once, if they don't knock you out, they might be in trouble.
Where would the fight be? Here at the Hideaway?
I think, Tim at the Hideaway said yes.
Tim's already doing the odds right now.
Tim just rented a ring. He's on his phone renting a ring right now. Tim just put up $50 to fight you.
Can't be as the underdog. Didn't know who I was fighting
to. I don't think I would fight Gaz. I don't think I would. I think Gaz is, there's some anger in there.
I have that price up, Levack. Well done. Thank you.
I'm just saying, I think there's some hidden anger behind Gaz's eyes that we all just don't see. There it is.
I know how to zoom in the camera.
Nobody can see because the way the lighting is. Because Chad made us turn the table around at the Hideaway. We were all set up pretty, but it was because the beautiful fountain and wall were behind us, not the golf course. Chad made us turn us around last second, so I don't even know. I put this together for nothing. Apparently, that's what I'm saying. So we're live at the Hideaway today. It's the first ever Levack and Gaz podcast.
That's right.
We've done the on air, we've done the online, but we've never done the podcast as this. We did get in there with Gaz, which I listened to it. It was weird. Is it masturbation to listen to yourself on a podcast?
No,
it's not. Okay, no. So you listen to all your podcasts? Is what you're telling me?
Yes.
I listened to it. I was like, you know what? That's kind of an interesting conversation. And I'm like, wait a minute, am I allowed to be impressed by myself as a guest on the podcast?
There's little small things that if you're doing a radio show and then move to a podcast, or if you're just listening, and we're going to get this for the next few weeks. Some people just don't get how a podcast works. That's why we're always up on the YouTube side. Like, for instance, Sherry just wrote in, we posted, hey, we're about to go 5 minutes here live from the Hideaway. She wrote, what time is this happening? Sherry, it says it right there. Just click the link, Sherry. If you're watching, I'm sorry. You wrote when? Some people are struggling, and it's an age thing. Like anybody above 45, anybody above 50 doesn't get how a podcast YouTube works.
I'm 44. I don't know how this works.
Right at 45, right?
He's got me running the damn thing over here. I hope we're on. I have no idea.
There were some interviews I did early on, and because we're so used to radio and people can't see us, you have to introduce who the guest is, because on this side, you can see who the guest is, or we have a little graphic on the bottom left of the visual side to see who it is. So I asked people early podcasts, hey, introduce yourself. While someone's clicking on the episode that says Jack Ryan, they know who it is. They literally clicked on the episode. They'd be saying Levack, no one knows who this is. Guys, it says Levack on the episode. I kind of get who your guest is. So little small things like that. If you're why do they keep reintroducing stuff? Because that's the radio habits. We're not used to this camera stuff.
Well, also, people are just straight listening, on Spotify or whatever later. I guess that's there. I did. It's just that you forgot. I was going to bring this up later. It's kind of like a joke. So the last LG boot bet, Levack and Gaz boot bet with Naira Bets at the track. If you guys listen to the radio show, every season that we were live from the track, we would always do a bet. We'd always try to find a way to make it simple, and it always got super complicated. But the bottom line was whoever did the best would get to make the other guy drink. Well, last year there was an added winner got a race named after them on opening day. Well, even though we're not on the station anymore, Tony Alvado and the guys over at the team all decided to honor the wager. So there's the 7th race of opening day is the Levack race. So they sent me the run for it. So I posted it on Facebook. I was like, this race has a certain ring to it or whatever. I'm not gonna say your name. Literally wrote on there, "Is this in your honor?" I want you to take a quick second and think of how many Levacks of any variety, locations, names, your pet, whatever that you've ever met. Yes, this is me. No, it's my brother. He's a really great hospice professional, and they named him race. He probably should. He does better work than I do. But no, yeah, I wanted to write no coincidence. Here's your sign.
I wanted all these great compliments for you, even though I lost the boot bet. I want to be like, way to go, Levack. This is so cool. This is so awesome. You had that person write that in, is this in your honor? And then other people are way too excited for Saratoga. They're like, give me the 3, 5, 10 trifecta box. I'm like, how about we talk about how the race is named after you? They're already giving you picks on the race, completely ignoring it's named after you after the bet. I don't know. I like the 7 in this one. How about why he posted it?
But the one is the one horse is Daniel's Dak instead of Jack Daniels.
Oh, okay.
So I was like, that's a good idea for that name. But yeah, no, it's very, very weird. Very, very weird. People on the internet, I feel like the second you log in anything, your IQ goes down. You know what I mean? Even there'll be times I'll be reading something somebody posts, and I'll be like, why would they have to know blah blah? And I'm like, oh, they're being sarcastic. That was sarcasm, and I almost pressed send. I almost did it. The closest thing to Levack out there is Hunter Hearst Helmsley. That's
right, Paul Levack.
Yeah. Levesque. He spells it wrong. Yeah,
that's right.
Yeah, he spells it wrong, but yeah, it's Levack or Levack, whatever.
There was a pitcher, I think, locally here, a softball girl who played Pitt, right?
Yeah, she's way more talented in every way than I am. But again, she spells it different than I do.
Oh,
that's the French Canadian spelling. Yeah. So again, it's just me, and I just burped in the microphone. I apologize to everybody who is up right now watching us live on the Techies Fire and Water Restoration Facebook page, as well as the Godzilla Media YouTube page. And then we have one. You want to come on finally? No. Shout out to the Hideaway. Always tells us every week, I'm coming on. This is the week. I'm going to tell you whatever. And then every time I go to put a microphone in front of him, he's like, starts swatting away. Yeah, he did come on for the final show, I guess. All right. See, now he'll just talk off mic. This is probably it for us too. That's probably it as well. No, so we're live here. This is weird though, because I got to be honest with you. This is normally I've already had 2 chances to go to commercial and go pee. In a normal radio life.
Why don't you do this? Why don't you go pee, and I will talk about our good friends in Mohawk Con. I'll give you a little bit of a break.
I don't have to pee. I wasn't
right here if you want.
Yeah, no.
Mohawk Honda, by the way, always going out of their way to please you. Don't forget about the great people at Mohawk Honda. I just got back from vacation. I was doing some work. I'm one of 59% of Americans who does work on vacation. There's a humble brag for myself. Anyways, I got there thanks to Mohawk Honda and the pilot. Drove it there. And by drove it or driv or drived, my wife did that part of it. She drove the pilot.
So it got there in one piece.
It did. Baby Rex is happy in the back seat. Thanks to the pilot. Thanks to the great crew at Mohawk Honda. Don't forget, if you're looking this summer to trade in your vehicle, selection is king, inventory king at Mohawk Honda. They have all the different types of rides that you want. You trade in your vehicle, you'll get something that you want. Thanks to the great people at Mohawk Honda. Shout out to Greg and Andy Gelcher. And
it was just Brian McKenna's birthday.
Was it?
It was just Brian McKenna from the Mohawk Honda's birthday.
Happy birthday to Brian McKenna. Yep. Go in there, right there in Glenville. I like to say it's in Glenville. Some will argue it's in Scotia. Glenville is where I'm going to say it is. Mohawk Honda. Go there, stop in, get a new vehicle, find out about the great selections of vehicles as well. Follow them on social media. Shout out to our guy, Nate, who's always doing a great job over there as well. Mohawk Honda, where they always go out of their way to please you. And if you're listening in Syracuse, Utica, Watertown, wherever, drive to Mohawk Honda. Get in your car right now and say, this thing I'm driving is a piece of junk. I want a great ride. Mohawk Honda will take care of you.
Don't tell them it's a piece of junk.
Oh, okay.
Just be like, hey, I think I'm ready to upgrade from this fine automobile that I should get top dollar for. They'll take good care anyway, but you gotta upsell it a little bit. You gotta make sure you get everything out of it. They take great care of me. I love all the guys at Mohawk and of course all the fabulous women at Mohawk as well. Who is L Egas?
L, I'm not sure, but shout out to L. Waking up for this in the morning.
The coffee is very good here at the Hideaway, almost as good as the Bloody Marys, and want to know if I was running in the Levack race on opening day. No, I run my mouth. That's what I do. I don't I know it's one of the oldest jokes in the world. If you see me running, you better run too because something's coming. Just real talk. If you see me running, the zombie apocalypse has begun. If I'm hoping that they're going to walk through this screen. There you go. Chad and Tim taking the Papa shot out to the golf course. I don't know which hole it's going to be on, but if you hit a certain number of like shots, is it on one?
Yeah.
All right. So on the first hole, you hit a couple shots, you get a beer. You get a free beer. So, and then during the tournament, I'm going to play in the tournament. You're going to be out here doing a sampling and everything.
Yeah.
Right?
Shout out to our guy, Tom Gurka over at Yankee Distillers. Old Gurka and I will be hanging out here at hole 1. I got the big Godzilla Media sign. It's as simple as this: scan, subscribe, shirt. Bring your phone and just scan it, and boom, you win a shirt, whatever type of you want from Godzilla Media. And if you haven't subscribed
while
yet,
supplies left,
I will sell today goes.
All right.
Because that's a lot of shirts now. You can mention that.
Right. Yeah, do while supplies last.
It's a long summer, yeah.
Yeah, we did radio for a long time. You got to put the little discount
while supplies last.
There you go. And since it's Gurka from Yankee Distillers, you're not going to hear Goz talk because he's just going to keep going. We're live here at the Hideaway. It is Levack Goz. If you want to, obviously, the first time this is out there, we're going to start doing these things in different places. But the Tech East Fire and Water Restoration Facebook page is where we're live right now, as well as Godzilla Media on YouTube. But here's the deal. I have met a lot of experts in my radio career, and Goz, you have also. But I don't know if we ever have met one we appreciate more or trust more than Buster Olney. Buster Olney legitimately blames me for the Yankees not being as good as they should be.
What?
It's a true story. It happened. I emailed him just to say hi and see how he's doing because, we used to talk quite a bit. And I was just like, what's going on with my Yankees? Is it all my fault? And Buster Olney literally wrote back to me, yes, it's your fault. Time to go back. CJ from the Hideaways here as well. Yeah, so is it my fault that the Yankees, and now they've won a few games, so everything's a little bit better. They're back above 500. But I think that's because we brought the podcast Levack Goz to the world, which has got them a little bit of juice back.
Yes, we will take full credit for all victories. We are undefeated for the Yankees. They're defeated because of what they've done. I think we take full credit for that. This Yankee team, confusing, right? Like in the years past when you and I have talked about this Yankee team, it sometimes was pitching, it was the bullpen, it was injuries. Like there was a theme of the season that why this team was struggling. They didn't have the full starting lineup. The rookies were contributing. I look at this 2021 team, and this was supposed to be like the payoff year, wasn't it? Like, okay, yeah. You love bringing up this quote, and I think it was a solid quote a few years ago where it's like Michael Kay broke down this Yankees roster and said the 2018 team, I believe, was going to be the worst of the Yankee teams for the next 10 years because they 5 years. 5 years. Okay. Yeah. So 5 years. So bad team because it was younger and the least experienced. They were going to get better and continue to grow. It hasn't really happened. I don't know if it's the Red Sox making better moves, the Rays having their own style of baseball, the Astros finding a new way to cheat, but the Yankees are not in that mix of the top teams anymore in the American League. There seems like the Blue Jays that have been bouncing back and forth between these guys who've had really good contributing young talent. It's harder for me in the 2021 season to pinpoint, okay, this is why they're struggling. Maybe you've got a better answer because mine keeps leaning towards Boone and Cashman, but I feel like that's too easy of an answer.
I think that's probably the root cause of what's going on, but I think it's as easy as they don't have heart. I just don't. Who's the heart and soul of this team? Like you look back, and even though obviously we all love Didi Gregorius, right? He was fun. He stepped in after Jeter. There wasn't a major drop off at shortstop. As a matter of fact, defensively he was an improvement. The bat was fine, so it was great. But he brought camaraderie. He brought fun. He brought like a team mentality with him. Ronald Torreyes was another guy, the Tonight Show, things like that. These little things that they would do to bring these guys together. And I don't know if that's what gave them heart, but right now they just don't seem to care some nights. Like yesterday was completely different. Like Garrett Cole goes out and deals, probably the best he's thrown since the spider tack issue started. Judge hits the home run. You still win 1-0. You probably should win by more, but I don't think we're in a place where we can start doing that. Where's the heart? Like, where's the guy who goes, why are we losing? Where's the guy who locks the door for the air quote players only meeting and loses his ever loving mind on the rest of the team? I don't like Girardi used to do it for you. We've heard Boone does it, but I think it's the way the team is built. It's boom or bust, home run or strikeout. And I just don't see somebody who's willing to go to a guy like Aroldis Chapman and go, what the hell's wrong with you? Why aren't you bringing it?
It feels like too long ago, like 2019, that the Savages happened.
Yeah.
Right? Where like the Boone thing happens and the team gets fired up. You mentioned the Chapman thing in 2021 where it felt like You're asking our oldest Chapman to go battle in war. It's like, we need 3 outs. All right.
Right.
Like, you're having all these like really emotional posts about all the things. Just 3 outs, Chapman. You throw 100. We're not asking for you to solve.
Was he $17-18 million a year? Right. You need 3 outs. I need you to get me 3 outs 100 times.
And there's a rumor going around social media. I don't know if you caught it, because sometimes Twitter and Facebook likes to make up their own things, that there was a moment in last night's game where Garrett Cole started yelling at Aaron Boone to get off the mound. Like, I'm not coming out of the game, get off the mound. So if you want heart and passion and competitiveness, there's Garrett Cole telling his manager, get back in the dugout. I'm going to finish this off. I don't know if that's true, but I've seen a lot of Yankee fans share that may have happened in the game last night.
Well, and he's the guy who would do it. That's always been the thought. Like there's 2 guys right now in all of Major League Baseball that I think have the power to tell whatever experience level your manager is, get the hell off my mound. And it's Cole, and it's probably DeGrom. Well, it's definitely DeGrom, but then it's Cole afterwards. But I hope he did. I hope that's what he did. Get out of here. I'm going to win this game. I'm going to finish it off. I'm going to finish it off. I'm not going to let the bullpen ruin it. And I'm going to finish it off against my old team, who I can't really stand anymore. Like, I like all of that. Here's the problem. Okay, so we got hard every 5th day. Like, that's where we're at. Like, and it feels like everybody's got a built-in excuse. Oh, Jameson Taillon, well, he's still recovering. He's not fully back yet. This guy's hurt. They've got their own excuses. I had this conversation with somebody the other day. I don't want you to tell anybody your excuses. You let me tell people your excuses. That way you look like you're a better person. You know what I mean? Like, like, I don't ever want to be the guy who comes on and be like, well, the reason today's podcast sucked was I had a hangnail and I didn't know. And
we
Chad
were tired. The McGregor fight went long.
Chad made us turn around, so the sun was it was all over us. Like, but now if Chad goes out and tells everybody the reason the podcast sucked was the thing, whatever, that's okay. That's okay.
Yeah.
Like, these guys will sit there. They're the first ones to tell you what's wrong with them. Like, oh, well, this and blah, blah, blah. No, dude, keep going. And it's weird to piss and moan after a win. You know what I mean? And they've actually been playing a little bit better baseball all of a sudden. But this team this year does not finish out sweeps. They don't do it. So today, right, you got Houston. Do you know what Houston's doing? You know what the Astros are doing as a promotion today?
No.
So they're celebrating their championship this weekend when they play the Yankees. And today, they're giving out replica Altuve jerseys. Tell me that's not the ultimate troll job. That is the ultimate troll job. You need to go in and slap the hell out of them today. You need to go in there today and just be like, no, enough's enough. You guys think it's funny that Altuve didn't want his jersey ripped because he had a sensor underneath it or whatever. We're going to slap the hell out of you. We're going to win 15-1.
I can't stand Houston.
Shout out to Hideaway. It's cheaper to get out infant-sized jerseys like Altuve's than real adult size.
It feels as if like the Houston rivalry is almost at times hotter than the Red Sox rivalry. And maybe I'll
at this moment,
like 2 weeks from now, we'll probably maybe feel different. There's a chance we might be at the Hideaway in 2 weeks. Maybe on that Friday talking Red Sox Yankees. We'll see how it goes, but I think it's going to happen.
Let's see. This is very stressful. It's a very long show already. It's only 30-some minutes.
But the Yankees and the Astros, I just want the Astros to lose because now not only were they cheating, they're still good. So it's almost like, well, I know you cheated, but now even when you're not cheating, you're still winning because you've got players. You lost George Springer, the Blue Jays, and even though you lost you lost Garrett Cole too, like Justin Verlander, all these players you thought would have this huge impact for the Astros, who were the marquee names of the team. They're not there or as impactful as they used to be, and they're still finding ways to win and are being compared to the AL West. And Yankee fans want to destroy them night in and night out. And to add to the heel, to use a pro wrestling term, the Astro players aren't going to the All-Star game.
Right.
So, and they're trying to say they want to rest for the pennant run and everything. No, they don't want to get booed by the fans in Colorado.
Right.
Just go to Colorado. Just go. Just go to Colorado, hang out, have some gummies legally, enjoy your time. Just go.
Get yourself a little mile high.
And look, and on the other side too, like I know DeGrom's not going, which is disgraceful. It's disgusting. Disgraceful and disgusting with the lowercase d, by the way. When
I see what you did there.
What I did there. Very good. He's not going either. Like, just hang out, wave to the fans, and go. So, some of these guys got to go, but as for the Yankees side of it, I don't know if they're going to make a deal here in July. I don't know if there's one. Like, it was easy for the day to say they need pitching, I don't know if they're going to be the most active team come trade deadline like they used to be in past seasons.
I mean, also anybody they get is not going to be the guy you expect, right?
Yes, right.
So you always see like whoever the biggest target, his biggest name is. Well, that's supposed to be the Yankees' target. No, not this Yankees. Not the way Cashman does things. It works 9 times out of 10, but who's the lightning rod? Who's the guy who's going to come in and be that hard? Because look, DJ LeMahieu, I mean, Did you think he was going to do exactly what he did the last 2 years? You hoped, whatever, but he's still, he's still a hell of a ball player. He's not the kind of guy, at least he doesn't appear to be the kind of guy who's going to go rah anybody. So all right, great, he's here, but what is he going to? You've brought in guys in the past who have pushed the right button at the right time. I don't know who that is. They've got all the talent they should need. Even with the injuries, like that's the one thing of being a Yankee fan that becomes even obnoxious to myself when I look at the roster and I go, I don't know if we have an all-star at third. Sure, everywhere else, but you know what I mean? Like, not just picking a random position, obviously. Yeah. But like, you're not supposed to have an all-star at every single position. Like, it's not supposed to work that way. It has, but like, it's not supposed to work that way. So whoever you bring in should be able to, fill a gap. And if it's not a talent gap, because you do have Aaron Judge playing, the best he's played, and you got, guys up and down the roster who are doing great. Cole looks like he's starting to figure out the spin rate and whatever. He's got to be somebody who's going to come in and get you a big hit when you need it. You need like a Jim Leyritz type who's going to come out and get a big hit for you and fire up the team. A vet who's going to come in there and just kind of what you thought Jay Bruce was going to be this year, maybe, but not. I don't know. I don't know the exact move you make at this point that gets everything done. I don't like to just blame Aaron Boone, because I think Aaron Boone is a product of modern baseball. Just like sure, you love the home run, good. You love modern baseball. Oh, you like bunting the third? Good luck. Like, I think Aaron Boone is a problem because he's more of a collaborative manager where he's working with the front office than just running the team for the front office.
For some of those who didn't follow the Levack Goss show on radio or maybe haven't heard this before, I think you had a quote years ago about Aaron Boone that we can look back now and say, is that still the right way to view it? Do you remember your quote you used to have about Aaron Boone when you first got hired?
I like him. Yeah, but he's like a new driver, so I'm not going to give a brand new driver keys to a Lamborghini. And I think he's proven he belonged, but at the same time, it's like it feels maybe just because they're not playing up to their potential. Now it feels more than ever like he doesn't. Now it's what it looks like he's not the right guy, but he's still the same guy who did the Savages in the Box rant. He's the same guy that everybody likes. I just think this may be a team that needs. I don't know if it's with Blake, the pitching coach, being a younger guy, and Boone being a nice guy, and everybody's nice guys. Maybe they just need to go find a battle axe to be like, another coach on the team to fire these guys up.
Yeah, it's a weird combination because the Boone stuff, we don't really pinpoint a Boone decision until, and this is all managers in general in baseball, until later in the year when it's really tighter for the playoffs. Like, we could go back and forth in July and August games, but that's very individual to the Yankees, where I don't feel like it's night in and night out. People are blaming Boone. If we had to say, like, okay, who might be under more heat, you could argue Brian Cashman now, just because of this reason. Because Brian Cashman, for the decades plus he's been with the Yankees, has had a way in which he built winners. And that has been a successful way he's done it. Like anybody running a business, okay? Hey, my business is winning. This is the way I run my successful business. I'm going to continue this method. We see it a lot more times in college coaching, both basketball and football. Hey, here's how I run my program. Here's how I recruit. Here's why I've had success. And it's hard to tell somebody, hey, I know you've done it this way, but change it. And to Brian Cashman's credit, he actually did. Right. Hey, here's George's paycheck. Sign whoever you want. Okay, we're going to win like this. Okay, we're not going to let you spend any more money. We need you to build up young players. Okay, I'll do it. I'll have success, but not win the World Series. What's happened now in baseball is you've got these really smart analytic minds, which is a whole different discussion of whether or not these people are ruining the sport because of less action out there and more pitching. But teams like the Rays, teams like the Blue Jays, team like the Oakland Athletics, that they're finding ways to change the way in which they scout and pick up players and all this. And the Yankees said, okay, here's what we're going to do. We're going to get guys who can mash home runs, smash dingers, and then pitch and hope we can beat teams 7-5, 6-4. And just, hey, if they strike out, they strike out. We'll have enough offense. All of a sudden, when those guys stopped hitting home runs, it got bad fast.
Yeah.
It was like, we don't have the guys who can mash home runs, and they're striking out, and they're getting hurt. Oh, boy. Like, this is an issue. And this has become the push year where Brian Cashman had all these prospects who, throughout the last couple of years, have been great. Like, all-star caliber players, MVP discussions, Rookie of the Year discussions.
Almost everybody overachieves.
Exactly it. So the scary part now in 2021 is they didn't peak. But we thought that, the ceiling would be a little bit higher. I hope they haven't hit the ceiling. I thought the ceiling would be a little higher for some of these guys where it'd be more consistent. And we know the players, from the Sanchez's to the Judge to everybody else across the board.
And look, Sanchez has kind of rewarded you this year for holding on to him. Judge is proven he belongs. again. Like I think we always knew Judge would belong as long as he could stay on the field, obviously. But there's always that analytical rule, right? So in analytics for baseball, you can strike out 3 times a game as long as you hit 1 home run, stuff like that. Mm-hmm. That's what they want. Well, another rule in analytics that seems to bite the Yankees in the ass more than anything is I'll give up a home run as long as nobody's on base. Because they hit more solo home runs than anybody. Yeah. With runners in scoring position, this team is anemic. And they just, it's always been a problem. Ever since this version of the Yankees has been built, since 09. And even like kind of in between 02 and 09, it was a little anemic when it came to runners in scoring position. But since 09, this team, you watch, they're one of the worst teams that batting average with runners in scoring position compared to their actual batting average of anybody. I mean, sorry, the Baltimore Orioles suck all the time. but at least, like, if there's nobody on, these guys are raking at like 272, 285, somewhere in that range. Put a runner on second base or third base, all of a sudden it drops down to like 112.
You know what's bad about the Orioles? I've become that person where the Orioles are so bad. I watch the Diamondbacks and think, okay, did they lose? We're not the worst. We're not the worst. I'm rooting against the Diamondbacks.
You're working your way up. You're working your way up.
It's amazing because like the NFL is complete opposite. Where teams like Jets fans, I got Chad's a Jet fan. You'd watch the other teams be like, okay, we need them to win. Let's go Jags. So the Jets can sneak in and get Trevor. I'm the exact opposite way. If the Orioles can continue to not be the worst team, I'll be okay. And get that rocker kid from Vanderbilt in the upcoming MLB draft. That kid throws absolute gas.
By the way, the Vanderbilt pitchers, Rocker and Leiter, are the only reason I'm even remotely interested in this year's draft. And I know that none of that, they're not going to any team I care about.
Care about the Red Sox. Hopefully Leiter doesn't go to the Red Sox. They have a top 5 pick now.
I mean, not when I say care about, I mean a team I want to see them on. Like obviously, yeah. Like that's just hatred. Like that's just hate. And it's a roundabout backhanded compliment to the Astros that I'm very interested in beating the Astros. Like, but the Red Sox, I mean, how they did what they've done so fast, where they were not supposed to be that good this year. And they're just doing it. Meanwhile, the Yankees are supposed to be that good, and they're not. It's like a comedy of errors. It's the 2 worst things that could happen at once as far as Yankee fans go. But I guess at the end of the day, they're still very much alive. They still could turn around. They have the talent. I guess that's the frustrating part. It'd be one thing if you just didn't have the talent. You go back to like the injury years where everybody's out, and you play better than you're playing right now. I just don't know how you light the fire. I don't know who lights the fire. I know I didn't start the fire.
Oh man, I was going to do that one too.
It's always been burning since the world's been turning. Levack guys live from the Hideaway. It's the wild world of sports golf tournament today. It's gonna be a lot of fun. You should always check out the Saratoga Lake Golf Club, the Hideaway, the golf tournaments they do. They do a bunch of them all year. On Taps and Tees was one of the big ones. That's later in closer to fall though. And it's brought to you by good friends at Tech East Fire and Water Restoration. Your best way back to normal, guys. You're a homeowner. You got the
I
home.
am a homeowner.
You got the home.
That's right.
Listen, you want our guys to be available. You want our people around because we're talking about water damage, fire damage, mold. Every house has got mold in it. I've learned that. That's the scariest thing. Scariest thing you learn in your life when you start working at Tech East Fire and Water Restoration. Every single house has mold in it. It's just a matter of how bad it is, where it is, and if it needs to be taken care of. When
I bought my house, it had mold in it, and I had no idea what to do. I just started spinning around in circles. It's mold. What do I do?
You do the double punch of the wall.
Get that mold out of there.
TEfirewater.com, my friend. That's what you do, and come in. Well, we got construction, we got mitigation, we got the whole thing for you. Take good care of you. Get your house back to normal. Sometimes even better than normal. I mean, if we're being perfectly honest with you, that's the goal for us at Tech East Fire and Water Restoration. So, proud sponsors, Levack guys, right here. Live at the Hideaway, Tech East Fire and Water Restoration. So I don't really want to talk about the Yankees anymore. That was the one plus of not doing the show for a little while, was like the first weekend I didn't do the show. The Knicks get bounced in the playoffs and the Yankees got swept. And I was just like, oh, thank God I don't have to turn the microphone on and talk about this. I'm going to go do anything else.
Well, how about this? You and I talked about this. We did a variation of a segment where I gave you 5 topics.
Oh,
where I could just kind of, this is something
I like it.
As we get close to hour 1, if you're listening on our Apple, Spotify, and wherever you're listening to your podcast, it's going to be separated to hour 1 and hour 2. So hour 1 here, we'll kind of end a little bit on 5 topics and let you breathe a little bit to get used to the world of no commercials in podcast land. And if someone says on podcast, like, I heard 2 commercials, let's Levack talk. We're live on YouTube, we're live on Facebook and everything else. I want to start with this. We don't have the fun graphics or anything like this. I'll just talk. We don't have to worry about the stuff in our ears. Let's talk about the name, image, and likeness stuff in college athlete. College athletes.
Wait, so we're doing, is this the list?
Do you want to do the list?
This is Gaz's list.
You just made the list.
Let's go. All right, I'm in.
Let's just talk about college athletes for a second here. Now, July 1st, 2021, it's passed. College athletes can now make money off their YouTube, their own businesses, their clothing brand. Now, the big change was this. Originally, for months, it had said that college athletes could not sign with third parties. So here's an example. Let's say you are Jeff Undercuffler, who actually did sign an endorsement deal. We'll get to in a second here. Let's say Jeff Undercuffler got offered a deal to sign with Gatorade. Okay. He could not sign with Gatorade. Originally, it was supposed to be that Gatorade would have to sign with Albany to get Jeff Undercuffler.
Right.
But what happened was the NCAA, when the day, literally the what's it called, the 13th hour, the 12th, the 11th hour, whatever that term is, they said, nope, you can sign with third parties. So now anybody can sign with anybody and do their thing. And Jeff Undercuffler has signed with Barstool.
Yeah.
So he's a Barstool athlete.
Good for him,
now,
too, because Barstool put like a call out.
Yes.
And it was, basically like, hey, anybody looking to get signed? And he hit him up and they went for it, which is, I hope that they go all in on Undercuffler because he is a great stereotype of what a guy from Jersey is. He's got the IROC Camaro. Every once in a while, I feel like he rocks the Tennessee mud flap. He's got a little mullet rocking. Every once in a great while, he's like they should logo up that IROC. They should go crazy.
We got to figure out September 18th when Albany travels to the Carrier Dome to take on the Orange. Something we should do out in Central New York. I'm just saying that.
Go watch the game.
I think we should. Either media members or out the tailgate. Shout out to my guy Dixon in the tailgate. We'll have a good time down there. Don't you worry. So what do you think, Levack, about this whole situation now that college athletes can benefit from their likeness, image, and name?
I honestly love it, but I'm also very afraid of it.
Ooh.
Like, because it almost sounds like curmudgeonly, like, old man, get off my lawn. The reason I'm afraid of it is there's just no way. There's no way on God's green earth, if I'm a booster, if I'm an unscrupulous member of a school administration, that I am not using this to wholeheartedly pay you to come play for me. Like, I know they're not supposed to be able to do that, but if I'm Nike, how does anybody not end up at Oregon moving forward? Oh yeah, sign a deal with Nike right now. Like, you come play in Oregon, sign a deal with Nike, sign a deal with Nike. How does that never, like, here, I'll give you the most lucrative deal with Nike anyone who's never played a pro game can ever have. I love all the jerseys showing up for the Wild World of Sports right here. A little Cuse action for you over there.
Cuse.
And I know they're already doing that. Like, they're already paying these guys. Oh, my Empresses are here.
Hey.
I know they're already, these things are already happening, but at the same time, like, now I just think it's one more level of how quickly we can slip money into the player's pocket on an unscrupulous level. Yeah.
So basically your fear is that, okay, let's say, we'll use LaMelo Ball, for example, because he was really popular on social media side of it. Okay, LaMelo, you're going to, instead of playing professional, you're going to go play for the Oregon Ducks, and we're going to give you, I don't know, $200,000 to play for Oregon. Okay, I'm going to Oregon. I'm going to bounce after 1 year. See you later. The tough part about it is for some of these businesses, they do have to remember this. Investing in an 18, 19, 20-year-old is a risky investment because there are a lot of times you might be the next great athlete coming out of high school and you bomb. Like, go through the list of like ESPN top 100 basketball or football players. You're going to get some pros, but you're also going to get guys you've never heard of before. So, if you're going to risk your money behind somebody, just be prepared that, one, they got to be good, and two, you're going to see a return of investment. Like any other business, if you're going to spend money, you got to make sure you see your money back. So, yeah, there are going to be some risks that are taken. Like you said, they're going to use it as leverage for recruiting. But there have been a lot of things that be used for leverage for recruiting, right? Like how good your team is. Miami, aren't they the kings of this? Derek King, who got a $250,000 endorsement. So he decided to do this. He started spreading the wealth of his players. Said, I don't care if you're a walk-on or whoever else. I'll start giving you guys some of my endorsement money because I know the team's going to get better. So that could be the next thing.
That's smart.
The quarterback gets it and says, all right, you're the top wide receiver in the country. Come play at Oklahoma State or come play at Oklahoma and come play with me. I love it, though, because this is America at its finest. Hey, I can go out and prove that I can make money for myself because you're willing to pay me that money, and I have no cap on the amount of money I can make. That sounds like America to me, Levack. Good for them.
Well, it does. I mean, all the money that comes in, and it's and technically, if everything, let's pretend everybody does it right. They know the way you're supposed to do it. Even if I am spreading the wealth of my own money around, they should get money. The universities aren't giving it up. They should get it. I think it's the right thing to do, but it just makes me a little nervous because we're that much closer to just like throwing the gates open and doing whatever we want to do, however we want to do it to get the guys in there, the enticements.
Yeah. And one other thing to add to that too, for female sports.
Yeah.
I think it's a huge deal.
Yeah.
Huge deal because you mentioned Barstool, how Portnoy just basically started signing guys. It happened because a female volleyball player, I believe it was Jacksonville State, left him a DM and just said, "Hey, can I be your Barstool athlete?" And Portnoy said, "I don't know what that means, but sure. Yeah, I'll send you some gear." The female athletes on Instagram and how they support their sport. I know I think they're Fresno State twin basketball players. They get a monster deal from T-Mobile because now they can go out and say, "Oh, I didn't know who you were. We're actually watching basketball, but I know you from TikTok. I know you from all these other different platforms and everything else."
Hey, before I want to, hey guys, come around here. Come around so you can get on the camera real quick. I brought in ringers for my golf team today. I've got Lauren and Morgan. The Empresses are here today. Part of see, I brought in ringers. I haven't been able to golf in a tournament forever, so I brought in ringers. I brought in real talent. The Empresses are here. So are you guys good? Have you played golf before?
No.
Live. Tell everybody you're awesome.
We're so good.
Just say you're scratch golfers.
We're scratch golfers.
There you go. See, ha.
I'll edit that out, Levack. It'll sound like this should have naturally.
Yeah. So we're here. I see the rest of my Empire team starting to show up. Yeah, you guys hang out, have fun, grab a drink or whatever, and we're gonna enjoy ourselves. So if you come to the golf tournament today, you'll see Lauren and Morgan, the Empresses, as part of my two golf foursomes. So I felt the need to specify golf foursome.
That was good.
I did.
Very
I felt
good. Yes.
just because they're very respectful Empresses, and I wouldn't joke about that. Now, Coach Manaz and Coach Ware, I would totally joke about the foursome. I would.
I'm going to add a second part to this list here, by the way. By the way, our YouTube channel got a lot better, didn't it? All of a sudden, people were just looking for you and I. And the Empresses came
That was
by.
the first time somebody went, "The lighting sucks here." That was the first all day when they turned us around in the course. When Chad ruined everything at the Hideaway and turned us to the course so people can't see us. That was the first time somebody was like, "Yeah, this is a problem." this is a bit of an issue.
I got to be careful with this next topic because I got to be very quiet about the good people at the Heisman Trophy. People are upset, Levack, that Reggie Bush Heisman Trophy has yet to be given back to him. Now, because name, likeness, image is being used, well, technically the rules that Reggie Bush couldn't follow don't exist anymore. Do you think the Heisman Trophy should give back their trophy to Reggie Bush?
I always thought they should. I never thought they should have taken it. Like, you can't, like, his achievement on the field didn't change. That's the way I've always felt about it. However, he knowingly broke rules. Like, it's not like if murder goes away tomorrow, you still killed somebody, you got to go to jail. Like, I know that's an extreme example, but he knowingly and willingly broke rules. And I'm supposed to just put those away because the rules don't exist anymore. We got Trout from the Hideaway here giving hugs, giving love. That's the closest I've ever been to a Browns jersey and not broke out in a rash. This is crazy. I just want to say, Lauren and Morgan, that's how you say hello to somebody. I'm just going to put that out there. So I'm completely distracted now. I lost.
You say yes. Give the trophy back to Reggie
I don't think you ever should have lost it. The one thing I do want them to do, though, do you remember the saga of reclaiming that trophy? Like, he hit it.
Oh, he did?
Yeah, like, so it was like stashed somewhere for, I think it was like a year. Ryan, what's up?
Ryan McCarthy from Godzilla Media. No
people are starting to roll into the Hideaway.
I woke up from the early morning Sunday naps.
Am I on that Monday?
Yeah, you're your next big guest.
I'm the next guest on
no credentials required.
No credentials required.
Godzilla Media Production.
That's weird. A lot of those creeping around all of a sudden. No, but he like hit it. It was like hidden for like a while, and then he finally gave it up. Like, I think it was like a year. So I think they should announce like today. Yeah, we're gonna give it back to him. We just don't know where it is. And then like a year later, like the exact amount of time. Oh, here it is. We found it. It was in Emmert's closet in the back. We didn't notice it. It was back there.
I know Syracuse
with all his dignity and morals.
I know Syracuse got Ernie Davis's Heisman Trophy was stolen. That was a myth, and eventually it was returned. How about OJ? OJ's Heisman Trophy's out there somewhere.
Yeah.
That's a different one?
It's fine.
For the Heisman,
I heard the real killers have it. When we find them, we'll find it.
The Heisman put out a statement that said, "We'll give Reggie Bush's Heisman back once the NCAA decides to reinstate his stats and rules and everything." Like, come on, guys. Although I love the Heisman, and please don't listen to this card. I'm working on it.
Are you still? That's the other thing. Like, are you still voting the Heisman?
It's going to be a process. I'll just say that it's going to be a process that I have to be some begging and pleading and saying how good the foundation looks to get myself back in there. So I will agree with everything they say as I kiss up to them for the next 5 months.
So when you left the airwaves, did you lose the right to vote for the Heisman?
No.
So now, so you still are. So why are you? Why are you begging? You're still in?
Because my contact information, let's say, has changed from that. So
Oh,
I have to reach out to get my contact info changed. So they easily could say, oh, okay, you work for Godzilla Media now. Cool, you're in.
Okay.
Or they could say, I don't know, somebody tries to steal my vote. Leave that there. Let's talk about the Olympics, Levack. People love the Olympics, but people also love pot. Have you seen the story involving Sha'Carri Richardson? All you people who laughed, I know what you guys are into.
That's the kind of segue you can only get from Gaz and the list.
Look at all you pot smokers out here. I smell it. Anyway, Sha'Carri Richardson. I didn't say it was you.
You smell pot? Do you like? All right, real talk.
All the dads can smell pot.
Real talk.
Yeah.
Have you ever smoked weed?
No,
it's a podcast. You can say
I'm not. I told you this. I've had 2 rules as a kid growing up. My dad said never get a tattoo. My mom said don't smoke. I said that's it.
That's right.
Man.
See, I always forget that too. Like this is gonna sound like weird.
At 8 a.m. on a Sunday. I don't mind.
I forget that like my parents passed away. Yours haven't, so you still have to behave yourself. Like if I do something so bad, my mom or dad contact me, then I really effed up. Where you would just get a call randomly from your dad, like seriously, Tommy boy, smoking the devil's lettuce? Really?
My parents are not happy that you acted like you didn't know who they were in our podcast. Like I've never met your parents. My dad gave you a Zima on my wedding day. He was hurt by you saying you didn't remember meeting them.
I was drunk. I love your parents. Listen, I love your dad. Your mom avoids me like the plague, so she's the smart one of the group. I don't blame her.
A lot of people.
She does. Like I remember the only time like I saw them together and actually got to talk to your mom was at your wedding.
That's right.
Every other time they're together, like she drags your dad away from me like I have the plague, which is weird now because the plague has happened since that. So it's a whole new thing. Maybe she thinks I started COVID. You never know. No, I love that. I did that jokingly because you're just so like Gaz is such a hard line between real life and his life. Coach Manaz of the Albany Empire, Mike Corda, one of the big owners, the local ownership, is throwing things at me.
Careful.
Local ownership of the Albany Empire, Mike Corda here, and you're number 1 as well, sir.
We were talking about pot smoking is what we were doing.
Yeah.
Now that your
Mike, you ever smoked a pot? It's a podcast. You can say whatever you want. We can do whatever we want.
She got disqualified from the 100-meter dash.
Oh, we actually are going to do that story?
No,
okay.
What were you going to do? I don't know.
We just went so far off the Sha'Carri Richardson story. That's so stupid. Like what exactly like did she gain some advantage? Like did she get relaxed better in her off time? Like if she was doing steroids or something, I'd say, yeah, yoke her out of the Olympics. If I'm the other runners, I probably feel great that she's smoking pot. Maybe it gives me a chance to catch her. I'd let her smoke up the day of the race. I'll shotgun blast her right there. Here. She's so fast, you're not catching her otherwise. I want her chasing Cheetos with the munchies. I don't want her chasing the finish line.
She had the chance to be the most popular American athlete of this year's Olympics because she's winning the 100 meters.
Yeah.
The 100 meters like the go-to event. She's going to win it, represent Team USA. She's got like her own fashion, her own style. She was going to be like the marquee breakout athlete of this year's Olympics. So people are like, how could the Olympics do this to her? How dare they? It's just marijuana.
Yeah.
It's
basically legal.
But here's the
everywhere
thing.
Now.
But it's legal in the U.S. It's not legal across any other countries. But like, look, those are the rules.
Because we've always concerned ourselves with the rules of the other countries.
Those are the rules. Like, hey, you got 6 weeks not to smoke pot. Just don't do
fair.
it.
I mean, that's fair.
Just don't smoke it for 6. And she owned it. She's like, look, it's on me. But like, how could people get outraged? Like, hey, here are the rules. She broke the rules. I don't like the rules. Well, they're there. Dude, just don't hit the hippie lettuce.
I mean, it's real. That is real. It is a rule. You know it's a rule. You're actively and willingly breaking it. Is the Olympics better with her not in it?
No.
Yeah, I mean that's like if I'm the Olympic Committee, what's that? I'm all set. Thank you. Sean Lockett, offensive line of the Albany Empire here. He's going to golf with it. Hopefully, he's got skills. I know Coach Manaz can golf. We got Coach Ware coming. Basically, I'm trying to find whoever the best golfer is out of the Empire people. That's why I was asking Lauren and Morgan. I'm like, you guys know how to golf? Because I need whoever that is in my scramble. Because I'm going to golf like crap. I just think it's one of those situations where in an organization like the Olympic Committee, who just does the most horrendous and terrible things, to go to somebody who smoked a little bit of pot and then owned up to it and be like, yeah, you just can't run. You just can't do it. You know what they should do? Based on what she tested, how much did she smoke? Is it like a quarter ounce or something? I don't know. I don't know how much. I really don't smoke. I never.
A dying bag. Is that still a term?
Well, I'm saying whatever the weight is that they feel like she admits to smoking during this period of time, they should put in her shoes. That weight as like a punishment handicap for the race. So like if it's another, like let's say it's an ounce, let's just call it an ounce, and I think that's a lot. the ounce in each sneaker, like a little weight in each sneaker. Okay, go run.
Mm-hmm.
There you go. There you go. You want to make these people never do the rules. You don't want to break the rules. You want to make them run slower. That's when the athletes get upset. Like if you told me I trained all like 4 years nonstop to be in the Olympics as the sprinter, and then you're going to add an ounce or 2 ounces of weight to my sneakers, I'll cry. I will legitimately break down and cry.
They're like wearing waffles on their feet.
If
Have you ever seen the track shoes? Yeah,
if even. Yeah, so
I can do a lot.
I say like now she's like kind of a folk hero. You kind of backfire yourself. We're not going to get the gold, and she's a folk hero. Where you could have just, here, we're going to weigh your shoe down just a little bit.
Yeah.
Okay, you got it.
She's more popular now than maybe she even was at the Olympics, which is a wild statement to say. We're still talking about her like a week and a half after this thing went down. Which is
I was aware of her, but I wasn't paying attention to her yet. When we got to like the week of running and all that, I probably would have been more in. But now I'm like you said, I'm in now. I'm in right now.
Well, speaking about folk heroes, controversy, not you. I can't believe I'm going to ask you this, but I feel like this is one of the number one topics I want to get with you. Have you been following this Britney Spears stuff? Have you been following this Britney Spears situation involving her parents and everything else that's been going on? It has been dominating the internet the past 2 weeks.
I've almost no idea.
Okay, so remember when Britney had her meltdown in 2010?
That's when I was just like, we were talking about Britney Spears. Coach is like, I thought you guys did a sports talk show, you jackasses.
Don't you remember when Britney shaved her head?
Yeah.
And she was beating people with the umbrella?
She looked like Mike Corda. But she shaved her head, Britney Spears. They look alike.
Well, at that point, I guess she had conservatorship.
See, now if we had the camera turned the way we had it originally, you could see all of them and it would be funnier. But they turned the camera on us. Jackasses. So
well, basically, her dad has been making all her decisions for her, and she's been putting out a subliminal post of like she's been trapped and she can't make any decisions.
Wasn't there something like people said like wear yellow if you're being held against your will, and she did?
Yes,
I heard that. Yeah,
Levack, there's been all over Hulu. It's a big documentary. Some girls made a podcast about interpreting Britney Spears' Instagram posts. You haven't followed any of these things involving Britney, huh? What? Can you put up my graphic I made for Britney? I made a graphic.
Oh, I'm sorry. Is there? Was that like a code the whole time? Down at the bottom.
Yeah, I think it's really creative what I did. Yeah, there you go.
It's Britney, bitch. That's what you hosted Trivia one day, and every time a question came up, I just put that person's name and bitch.
You have no take on Britney.
Not really. I don't know. Like, all right, so this is what. All right, wait a minute. I actually did overhear what I thought was an intellectual conversation about it, where someone explained to me that if a judge is going to go as far as to uphold a conservatorship or whatever the hell it is, where babysitter, at this point in her life, she's messed up and needs help, and it's actually for her own good, because the judge isn't going to let them work this scenario. Like if she goes in there and she displays herself as an independent, able to handle her own facilities, faculties, all that stuff, adult, the judge is going to give it back to her. So the fact that they didn't, she's got problems that you guys just aren't aware of, that oddly enough, you can't learn in a 30-second Instagram video. How do you like that?
That was an answer I wasn't prepared for because it was very well thought out.
Years of bullshitting on the radio, my friends. Years of it.
Is it bad that I don't want the Britney thing to end because I feel like it's constant entertainment from people? Like people lose their minds over this Britney Spears stuff. They're going wild on podcasts, Twitter, Facebook about it. I want to see how long this can go. Look, if she wants to go do shows and do everything else, great. She can go do her thing. I just can't get how people just can't flip it. Like the Hulu documentary, if you go watch it, basically they're like all these people defending Britney, and at the end they all flipped and went on her dad's side. What the hell happened? I think Britney is going to continue to do this. This is never ending. Britney Spears, # free Britney.
Why am I not surprised that you're into this though? Like aren't you? Like Big Brother started. Why are you still talking Britney?
Oh, Big Brother! What an opening episode! What an opening! That's an all-time great episode that opened there. So here's why I like the Britney Spears thing. # free Britney. # techies. # Godzilla Media. I use all those three. The Britney Spears fans will get on my side.
I just don't care about her. I don't care. Like, I'm sorry.
All right, I have two more here that I want to do.
The list.
I want to use one on the list and one just get your topic on because I know people haven't heard this. Let's talk about the Home Run Derby and the All-Star Game that's on Monday and Tuesday.
Okay.
Flat out, easy statement. Is the Major League Baseball Home Run Derby / All-Star Game the best all-star festivity event and best all-star game in all of professional sports?
No, it usually is, but with everybody saying they don't want to do it and how political it became this year, it's kind of weird where like the NBA festivities are probably pretty close to it. And the fact that they actually openly embrace all the politicalness where it's okay. Like you just kind of forget about it once the 3-point shootout and the dunk contest start. I think right now the NBA All-Star festivities, I can't even speak. Festivities. I need another drink. Have surpassed a little bit. I think if everybody that you wanted in the home run derby and everybody who you wanted to watch play in the All-Star game did, it would be better.
So like the NBA 3-point shootout in particular, like even though the dunk contest is the marquee name, if they ever one year want to flip it and put the 3-point shootout at the end when you got Steph Curry and Klay Thompson and Devin Booker, when you have some of the great 3-point shooters of all time in the 3-point shootout, yeah, it's a pretty good case that it's better. However, whoever is behind switching the rules for the home run derby a few years ago, genius. Because it used to be, you'd toss it in there. All right, you'll wait for a pitch that you like. It was be really slow. Now you've got the clock. Now you've got the competition. Now you've got to hit a certain amount of home runs at a certain amount of time. Love it. The home run derby has been so awesome. We've seen some hometown players win it as well. Bryce Harper won it in D.C., the one that stands out to me. Home run derby is great on Monday, and way more home runs are being hit. I like the All-Star game on Tuesday more than anything else of any professional sport because in the NBA, you kind of have an idea of how it's going to go, even though it's got a little bit more competitive the last few years. Whoever's the hometown guy, they try to let him win the MVP. The hockey All-Star game, there's just like an insane amount of goals. It doesn't look like hockey. The football Pro Bowl, you don't get the best players. It's gotten better. It used to be like no tackling at all, but it's same thing. It's tons of offense. I like that baseball it's anybody that game can be the best player in the game. Anybody, like a big hit, a big RBI. We used to see a home field advantage in the World Series decided for it. No longer, but anybody who you're a favorite player of can win the award and be the best. And it's the first baseball game because you and I watch sports a little differently because we have so many teams we have to cover. I will watch that from inning 1 to inning 9 because I get to see all the teams, all the players across the board. And they're fun during the game. They talk like they have the interviews in the outfield. They have
I like the interviews in the outfield is very good. I like that. I think for me though, like any All-Star festivity, I think it's really about the skill competitions that I like the most. So like home run derby is the king of them all. Dunk contest is right there. If the NFL ever figures out how to bring back the actual like real skill competition, that'll blow it all away. Like,
don't tape it anymore.
That's a huge part of it too. Like, let me see the bench press. Let me see the long throw. Let me see all these like I love the QB competition they do, all that stuff, but there's so many fun things they could be doing, and again, tape delaying it sucks. So home run derby still king. So I guess if I was going to waffle on my answer, that would put it on top. But I don't like the game as much, and maybe it's because I'm old enough to remember pre-interleague play. Because you never got to see, DeGrom pitch against Cole until it got to the World Series. Like, so maybe that's why it's not as big for me as it used to be.
That's the list, Levack. The list is over. I gave you 5 topics. I kept one off because it's been a long time since we've talked about this certain guy who is now the star of baseball. Your guy, Mr. Shohei Ohtani. For those who do not know your previous opinion of Mr. Shohei Ohtani, he is taking
Here's another reason I was happy I wasn't on the radio.
For those who don't know what we're talking about, please take us through why you were not a fan, or maybe you've changed your opinion about the all-star player, the modern-day Babe Ruth he's being called.
See, there's the line. That's the line. That's where you go too far, right? No, he's amazing. He is amazing. He's fun to watch. He is the best player in baseball all around now because he can do things nobody else does. I referred to him as a circus freak when he got in because he shouldn't have won Rookie of the Year. It should have went to Miguel Andujar, and he got it because he was a gimmick guy. And at that point, he was a gimmick guy. Now, and I believe, if I remember correctly, I even said back then, you want to impress me, do it in the same day. Hit and pitch, do all the things, and play 5 out of 6 games and all those things. And he didn't do that back. He does that now. So I can kind of walk myself back and not feel like a total idiot. But he was a circus freak, and now he's not. So
you're a fan, dare I say?
No, I'm not a fan. He's not in pinstripes. F him. I hope he loses every game he ever plays.
See, you led me right into my follow-up here, because here's the thing with Ohtani. Is he the most exciting player in baseball? I think it's him and Fernando Tatis Jr. in that conversation.
Guerrero Jr. too.
Guerrero Jr. too, for sure. Yeah, those guys are just night in and night out. They're going to do something different.
All until Jason Dominguez gets up. Let's go Martian.
That's right. So with Ohtani, though, look, yes, he can smash home runs. He can pitch. He battled some injuries early on in his tenure with the Angels, but he is like we've never seen a player do before. Lead the majors in home runs and still be a really effective pitcher. Here's what my issue is with Ohtani, though, and I feel like people are going to boo me after this. The Angels still stink. Like they're not. How can
true? How give Trout and Ohtani?
That's it.
Yeah.
Like, and I know Trout's been hurt this season, but you've got Trout and Ohtani, and you're fourth in the division out of 5 teams. You've got the best player. You've got the modern-day Babe Ruth who can pitch it.
Yeah, the modern-day Babe Ruth and the modern-day Mickey Mantle, and you lose.
And you're below the Texas Rangers.
Yeah.
Like you're barely
That's why you're not the modern-day Babe Ruth. And that's why you're not the modern-day Mickey Mantle. Because if you had either of those guys in any shape or capacity on a team, you'd be a winning team.
Fernando Tatis Jr. for the Padres.
Yes.
They're winning.
He's the modern-day Fernando Tatis.
Senior.
Yeah. I'm putting it out there.
But the Padres are winning because they got him. They got Machado. The pitching is pretty good. Maybe they need to make an addition. Maybe they'll be active at the deadline. They got to catch the Dodgers, but they're good. That's the thing with Ohtani. Like, as great as he is, and I know, look, there have been players we can go through. Like, Barry Bonds made a World Series. Ken Griffey Jr. had a few moments in the mid-'90s where the Mariners were in contention. The Angels stink. And then someone's going to say, like, what else do you want Ohtani to do? He can hit, he can pitch. But I need them to keep going over the top.
I want to see him win.
Yeah, there you go.
No, I'm with you. And, you know, again, I'm obviously not going to cheer for him because he's not a Yankee, but I was interested to go see him play too. And then we shelled him. The Yankees shelled him.
Yes.
So I felt better about it too, but no.
Do you think if he was on the Yankees, they'd be the best team in the American League? Because I don't think so. I don't think they would.
As they're currently constructed, Darius Prince telling me I'm number one. Nice to see him. I don't know, because again, I don't think the talent is the problem with the Yankees. Like, does he come in and light a fire? Like, knowing that he's pitching day 2 or 3, does that make Cole better? Knowing that you have that extra rest day 2 for your DHs, I get that might help actually. The fact that he would hit on pitching days, and you could arrest certain guys even more, but also you muddy the waters more. Like, you can't DH Giancarlo Stanton that day. What do you do with him? Like stuff. No, I think he's too much of a problem for a lot of teams.
That's the issue, and I'm totally with you on that, where it seems like a very simple answer. Like, okay, the best player arguably in baseball goes to a team that needs to improve. He'll improve the team. It just reverses what we just said. Why aren't the Angels winning? Like, okay, you put him on the Yankees, like you just said. You got guys like Stanton and Judge. You got guys who can hit home runs.
Right.
And Ohtani hits home runs. So, of course, like, gets one over the
fence.
He
hits triples, too, which is pretty amazing.
Look, you get one over the fence, you're obviously helping your team. But is he going to be a factor to catch the Blue Jays or the Rays or the Red Sox? I don't know if consistently he would be the guy night in and night out doing it. Now,
I don't think the Yankees would let him hit. No, I don't think they would. I think they would only let him pitch, which would also be a problem. Because, again, that's the real value of him, is the fact that he can do both. It's entertaining.
Leads the majors in home runs.
I think
he's 33, hit a moonshot last night.
I don't know. He either leads in triples too, or he's like second or third. He's like, it's funny. Like, now that we're not doing the radio show every day, I can't just spit stats at you, but I see what's out there. It's more of a grand scale thing. But no, he's entertaining. He's something to watch. I definitely paid a little closer attention the day that the Yankees shelled him. But he's the one thing I don't like about him the most, I think, is the first time any market sees him, there is at least 17 to 25 references in the first couple games of, he's a big guy. He's very tall. Like, look, I know you guys didn't see him in a game yet, but you know what his stats are. Like dude's 6'5", he's 6'5". It's not like he's taller because he's standing at Yankee Stadium today. Like, that was like that. I guess that just started to aggravate me. Like, okay, I get it, Michael K. He's as tall as you are. I get it.
I was going to say that, by the way, before you said it.
Were you?
Ohtani's a big guy. I really was.
See, you can't help it.
And I think, you know what it is? This is so lame, but I can say this on a podcast now. I think people too quickly compare him to Ichiro. Because Ichiro,
you say like the Asian bias, like most like historically Asian guys are shorter.
No.
No, but it's historically. I'm not saying it. Listen, I don't make genetics, guys. Okay, I know you people think I do.
Ichiro was the greatest hitter of all time. Yeah, I'll say it, Pete.
I'm on a podcast. I can flip you off, friends.
Ichiro was a guy who could just kind of hit like a softball player in high school, but he was small. Ohtani's big. That's the difference. People compare him to Ichiro because they were these impact players who are technically rookies, but not really rookies. Like you said about Andujar, got robbed. Ohtani wasn't really a rookie. He had played professional baseball before and everything else. So, yeah, that's why I think people think Ohtani's tiny.
Levack and Gaz live at the Hideaway for the Wild World of Sports golf tournament. All my Empire guys and my Tech East guys are here now. So We're live on the Tech East Fire and Water Restoration Facebook page as well as the Godzilla YouTube. And I just like, dude, great. We got Sean Lockett's playing today. Got Darius Prince playing today. Darius Prince has never swung a golf club in his life.
In his life.
And I talked him into playing by telling him it was going to be easy and we'd make it. So I'm going to have I have one of the most awkward swings in the history of mankind.
Barkley-like?
Similar. Yeah. To be honest with you, I get slightly better results because not as many people are watching me, but like, it's awkward. I can't wait to see how bad he is. He's so good at everything he does because he's a natural athlete. Like he didn't even he wasn't even a football player in college. You know what I'm saying? Like he's a natural athlete. He's one of the best receivers in the history of arena football. I can't wait to see him look awkward on a golf course. If he goes out and he starts bombing, I'll be right back with you as sitting here drinking Yankee Distillery bourbon in like 5 seconds.
All right. So when you see people never play golf before, do you think they're more inclined to do like a traditional golf, like Tiger Woods swing? Or do you think because of the movies they go full Happy Gilmore and think like, no, I can drive it, I can run up and smash it? What do you think his technique will be?
I think it's gonna be smash. I think it's gonna be 100%. He's gonna try and smash the golf ball. He's gonna try so hard. I'm pretty sure he's gonna be using my clubs today. You may hear like when we're on like the first hole, you may get hit with my golf club. It may come flying. It could. I think my club is gonna come flying up over the top. And then Lauren and Morgan, the Empresses, are here. They're going to help us out, and they look like they golf. They look the part. So hopefully they do pretty well out there. I've never seen Lockett swing a club. He's another natural athlete. Coach Ware and Coach Menaz both say they golf. So the pressure's on them. I know. I know I'll be able to do my part of drinking through the 18 holes. So be ready to drive me home later.
Okay, well. I mean, I'm hanging out with Yankee Distillers throughout the event here at Hole 1, handed out free T-shirts, scan, subscribe, shirt. It's easy as that. But if you got to hop in with me, you can hop in with me.
Yeah, I think I'm going to take off. Is that? I mean, it's a podcast.
Like right now?
I think I'm gonna wrap and run.
Can we do this before you take off with the Empire? Can we talk about the season, or is it too weird talking about the players?
No. If
hyping up the next home game,
I think it makes a ton of sense. You're the voice. You do the color commentary for the home games, and I'm on the field doing stuff and hanging out with my guys all the time. It's a great team. It's so much fun to watch these guys, and it's a great group of guys. When we got a chance to put this together, knowing that Coach Menaz was going to be able to play, Coach Ware was going to be able to play, and then. Believe it or not, my very first call was to Darius Prince because I love hanging out with Darius Prince. Like you see the personality on the field, that's him. That's who he is. Not a better guy. Lockett as well. The problem I had was picking a few guys, and luckily most were out of town still. They're coming back today because obviously getting ready for next Saturday the 17th as we host the Jersey Flight, who have really turned their season around and played much better football since we beat the hell out of them in Jersey. But, man, it's a great group. You're around them. Great group of guys who can play some serious football.
My goal, Levack, and I think this is more likely to happen than not likely to happen, I want us to be outside of the block party because it's a 7 o'clock kickoff on Saturday the 17th. I would like Levack and guys, show number 2, to be live outside the block party. I don't know if they're going to PA us, but just come by, have fun with us. You're going to be working. I'm going to be working, but we're going to carve maybe like a 3:30 to 5:30-ish block party event.
Hold on. Let me ask one of the media guys. Hey, can Levack and guys be out front of the block party on the 17th at Times Union Center? Yeah, go ahead and do it. Tell them they can be there. Right. Yeah, look, we got clearance. We're there. We're there. Joe's Boys Band is going to be playing. Tickets available. We're full open. The one thing is CDC regulations still say if you're unvaccinated, you have to wear a mask. I would never tell you that there'll be signs that are going to tell you to wear that mask, and that's about it. And, you're pretty much on the honor system at this point. But that's the deal, man. Wear a mask if you're uncomfortable, if you're unvaccinated. But aside from that, let's go root on the Empire because we beat this Jersey team on the 17th. Pretty much a lock for an August 7th home game for the playoffs. So you have that. We get the revenge game against Jacksonville on the 31st. And then August 7th, who knows who we're hosting in the first round of the playoffs.
And then if that happens, August 14th, the championship game would be potentially, depending on how the results happen, the Albany Empire franchise could potentially have another opportunity to play for a championship inside the Times Union Center.
Really important 3-game stretch. 2 at home, 1 on the road. So Jersey, got to beat Jersey. You can pretty much end Jersey right now if we can beat Jersey this week. Then week 2, you're in Columbus, going down to Georgia to play that really good Lions team. You got to beat them to make sure you hold serve and take over that first spot again. and then you finish the season against Jacksonville. Really important 3-game stretch. Totally need everybody's support. And now that we're open, come hang out, come have fun with us. Great deals on tickets. As a matter of fact, I don't know if I'm supposed to say this, but we're at Best Cleaners on Friday. You still go to Ticketmaster, use Best Empire, get buy one, get one free tickets in select sections. So
hey.
I'm just putting that out there for my friends at Best Cleaners. Best Empire on Ticketmaster, buy one, get one.
Now that a lot of people's lives in the world has changed, I'm so excited for this upcoming Saturday's game to have all the support back for the Albany Empire fans who maybe were a little bit more hesitant earlier in the summer that are hopefully going to be packing the Times Union Center. 2 things. I think you can answer both of these. Super Bowl champion, what's going on with Deion Lewis?
So, Deion Lewis is going to be at the 17th game. We got him coming out doing, I believe he's going to do the coin toss, but what I do know for a fact is you buy tickets now, you're automatically entered in a raffle to a little meet and greet that we're going to do before the game. And if you already bought tickets, we've got ways for you to enter too. But at the block party, you can enter where we're going to be out. Maybe we'll put it near us so people can enter to win a meet and greet with Deion Lewis.
Very cool. And I know you're not Dr. Levack.
Yes,
I am. Play one on the radio. I don't know if you play one on
dark
the podcast.
Rooms. Wherever I'm welcome.
Is there an update on the injury status of recently signed wide receiver Malachi Jones?
I talked to Malachi. Obviously, you're supposed to be. I don't know what I'm supposed to say. What am I supposed to say?
Don't worry, Coach is sitting right there.
Yeah,
so.
I talked Malachi. I can tell you what Malachi said. I talked to Malachi last Wednesday, and he said he's great. He said no swelling. He's moving around, fully mobile, good to go. By the time we play on the 17th, He said he'll be 100%.
All right. Good answer. I don't know his doctor. They don't talk to me. But Malachi's also a Lululemon ambassador, so I feel like he's not allowed to lie. So, Lululemon ambassadors cannot true story. Malachi is a brand ambassador for Lululemon. See, I didn't make the face because of Malachi because that makes total sense. I made the face over this guy, Ryan McCarthy over here. Because I want to know if Craig the Leg hates me because of what he's done to me. There is a Twitter beef, between Craig the Leg and I.
You're going to say that in front of these beautiful ladies?
Look, I want to know why Craig the Leg hates me. Does he hate me? Because allegedly
he's a kicker. Who cares what he thinks?
I gave credit to all the Albany Empire players. Gave credit to everybody. And somebody over at No Credentials Required said, wow, look at all these compliments Gaz gave except to Craig the Leg. Wow, that sucks, huh, Craig? And then Craig got mad at me on Twitter. And then he apologized later.
Listen,
that's right.
He'll be
a kicker. Does he hate me?
He's a kicker. As long as he's hitting those deuces and hitting 2 points on every kickoff, yeah, I'll back him up and he can hate you. He doesn't hate you. Knowing Craig Peterson the way I know Craig Peterson, he's probably already forgotten you exist. He's on to the next. He's like a goldfish. He just swims forward, kicks footballs, and moves on with his life.
I have this scene that Craig's
going, Coach, do you want to chime in? Coach Yanaz wants to know why we're talking about kickers in a golf tournament.
Because he thought I didn't give him imagine him thinking of my face as the ball the next game. That Gazlowski, that Gaz media, huh? Said I wasn't the best kicker in the league.
Listen, why don't you try out? That way if he gets really mad, you guys can have a kickoff at halftime.
I'll do that. I'll come down I have my suit on. I'll come down with the suit on and kick against Craig at halftime. That'd be great.
I'm more worried about what Sean Lockett thinks about me because that dude could bench press my fat ass. What's that? Yeah. he said that you and Peterson have similar personalities. I believe is what he just said. You guys will work out well together. Oh man, can I go golf?
You can go golf.
I don't know. I'm asking. I really don't know if I have the ability.
I have no idea. I think we had a good. This has been wild. About 90 minutes of Levack and Gaz, unfiltered, uncensored, raw, uncut.
Actually, Lockett, Sean, come over here real quick. Just real quick. Come on. I want Lockett to stand in front of the camera behind us. Look at this, the build on Sean Lockett. Look at that. I remember, I always thought I would, I forgot what mirrors looked like. Yeah, right. I, mentally convinced myself I'm built like Sean, and I see him, and I go, oh, crap. oh crap.
It's like Bobby the Brain Heenan hyping up Lex Luger right now. That's what I just saw.
And then I see Darius Prince, and I'm like, I'd rather be fat and happy than skinny and miserable. I got another mic. Any of you guys want to come over and chime in? We got some time. I mean,
they're smart.
They're smart. Yeah, they know not to get into this arena.
This was a lot of fun, Levack. We got to catch up. We got to chat bright and early.
Yeah, it was a good last show. I liked it. I thought it went well.
If you are watching on replay,
come here, Prince. You never shut up.
This is going to be on YouTube on demand. So if you didn't get up at 8 o'clock in the morning on a Sunday watching the UFC, you can listen on Apple and Spotify. We will share those links as well, so you can listen to the show on demand.
Malachi would have come over.
Getting there with Gaz will also have this week's edition of Levack and Gaz. Again, for a reminder, Levack is going to be out on the course. Make sure you come by the Hideaway all summer long. It's going to be
I've had one drink. This is going to get out of hand.
Especially with the track season opening up on Thursday. Come to the Hideaway, enjoy some.
I'm not being to me. Are you guys old enough to drink? Yes, they both said yes. Okay, good. All right, good. Good to know.
And then make sure you follow Tech East on Facebook. Make sure you do all the good things with them. Godzilla Media as well. Yeah, Tech East
on Twitter as well. Tech East 518. I'm trying to steal the Tech East handle back from some company that in like California or some crap.
They have it?
There's they haven't posted in a while, but when I'm it's stupid.
Am I tagging the right one on Facebook?
I don't know.
Instagram?
Facebook is easy.
Okay.
Yeah, you got the Twitter one that we just got started. It's Tech East T East 518 at T East 518. We're just getting that one rolling. So their media guy is very slow. Very slow. He does very lazy actually. Their media guy. He's fat too. Do you know that? I used to sleep with his girlfriends.
You did?
Yeah.
By the way, for those curious what happened to Corey and Green, which he did right into the show, he's busy working at the market today. So.
Oh yeah, he said hi. Corey's still alive. Lorianne from Integrative Sleep Center said hi. She said it's good to hear us back on the radio. Most people good to hear us back on whatever form of media this is. Not really radio. I said that, but it's good. It's been fun. Well, do it again.
Let's do it again.
We know we're going to do the block party on the 17th. We're probably going to pop up somewhere else between now and then. Is that official? No.
We'll probably do the block party and then the Hideaway. We'll probably do one show a week.
Maybe I'll just pop on. I don't know. I don't need you. I make my own money.
I got all the equipment now, guys. You tell me how to do it.
Yeah, I know. All right, everybody, make sure you get over to the Hideaway. Make sure you go to Saratoga Lake Golf Club. Make sure you check out tefirewater.com, Tech East Facebook page, and also, of course, the Albany Empire. Tickets available right now, July 17th, taking on the Jersey Flight. This is a very talented team, and we're going to need all your support to smack the hell out of them right there at the Times Union Center. And then you got that Godzilla thing.
That's right. Godzilla Media. Check out all the podcasts. Search on Apple, Spotify. And I will talk to you again next Saturday, live from the block party.
It's a good plan. I like that plan. Everybody have a great one. Be safe out there. Levack and Goz everywhere. Spotify, we're everywhere now.